Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, Tuesday, the 17th of May, 2022. It's a great privilege to be here once more to give you the highlights of the day. So before we go further into our show for tonight, remember we are live on Facebook, Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Like and share our Facebook page. We're also on YouTube. Share our channel. TT Real Talk, subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. Those of you who are looking for cash, quick cash, 24, 48 hours approval, remember I am a licensed money lender. $40,000, $50,000 you can get a loan borrow, but you know it's obvious you got to pay interest. It's a business. But nevertheless, as long as you have your security, it's not a problem. You have house, land, car, sign a document, we release the funds to you, and you make a monthly installment. Remember, I have license to lend money, so nobody can tell me nothing. No financial institute, no police, no FIU. They can't come around me. I am licensed. And from time to time, I do show my license on television so the public will understand that Saieed is a licensed money lender. Real Talk Group of Companies, they also open the Real Talk Auto Sales and Financing. So if you're looking for a vehicle, you have 50 to 75% of the money down. Not a problem, we'll finance the rest. We also buy and sell vehicle. We have one or two vehicles for sale. Audi, PCY Audi 1.8. It's a new model, shape Audi. A drop low. So viewers, you could come down and check it out. We have a BMW. I have vehicles for sale. I have a Porsche for sale also. So come along and check it out. We'll put up on the Real Talk page so you will see it as of tomorrow. So 2386716 is our phone number to call in. Live on the program. My South office is back up and running. So those of you who want to check out the sub office for information, whatever information you need, we are 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village in San Fernando. You can check them out. Their numbers are 242-7690. Call them, set up an appointment, go meet with them and discuss whatever business you have. Remember, there's a sub office down there. You could find out all the loan information. And after, you could even submit an application for loan. But in Caroni, 14 Caroni Savannah Road in Shogunas, you could come, apply, your loan will be granted. Remember, those of you who are looking for 3.5, we still have that on, nevertheless. So as we start off our program tonight, viewers, National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines. Hey, I love this man, you know. Yes, I love this man. High intellect, well spoken. It's good to be highly intellectual. It's good to be well spoken. But having a portfolio and not carrying it out is another thing. It's another thing. So National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines have confirmed that granting of firearm user license. Now, the issue of gun permit was put on hold since last August as there was an ongoing investigation into the alleged or allegations of impropriety. So we're going to hear later on more about this. Communication Workers Union, CWU, is not comforted by a recent statement by Housing Minister Camille Robinson-Regis about process restructuring at the Telecommunications Service of Trinidad and Tobago, TSTT. On May 13th, Robinson-Regis informed the union that it would communicate with TSTT to consider halting its processed or proposed restructuring exercise until the subcommittee had completed its findings. So that's something they're going to put on hold now. She further said that the government position on the proposed restructuring was clear, and as a result, the subcommittee was in no position to instruct TSTT to change or stop the restructuring. Talks between TSTT and the CWU about the company proposed restructuring are ongoing. So viewers, that is a bacchanal by itself. Hundreds of workers are eagerly waiting the outcome of this restructuring. They want to know if they're going to lose their job. They want to know if they will be able to make payments for loan, mortgage, groceries, pay bills. Is hundreds of workers. They are just like statues. We just stand still and we're waiting. What next? What next? I mean, to have workers stand still and wondering what next is something hard, you know. It's something really, really hard, because you don't know when the axe would hit you. And when the axe hits you now, what is your position? What is your outcome? What am I going to do next? And it is already hard in Trinidad and Tobago to find a stable job. A stable job is pretty hard to find in Trinidad. Imagine that. Minister of Health Saieed Ali has assured that his ministry was trying to purchase pediatric vaccine for children aged 5 to 11. Caller, good night.
Saeed, good night.
Go right ahead.
You know, the Privy Council just approved the hanging still in Trinidad. It's in the law books. And, you know, we're expecting that the government will have a simple majority in the parliament to say that they can stop it.
Well, I want to see what majority they're going to bring out now to see if they're going to stop the hanging, because I will tell you something. If somebody kills somebody and they are allowed bail, what next? What next? I ask myself, what next? If a bandit run into your house and you kill the bandit, police locking you up. Police locking you up. Why you kill the man? My question is, what he do now? Jump in my fence and come in my property? That is my question. They jump inside property, you know. You're staying right there. I let you know, you're staying right there. And every police in Trinidad will tell you, every businessman will tell you, every politician will tell you. Not in the public, they would say it, but behind their head, you jump at my fence while my property block from, you're staying right there. You're staying right there. Judges will tell you, why you jump in my property? Why you come in here? This does not belong to you. Me, you jump my fence, you stay right there. Take what I'm telling you. So Saieed Ali now, he's trying to purchase pediatric vaccine for children aged 5 to 11. The House also debated the Finance Supplementation Bill 2022, which gave his ministry an extra $362 million. An extra $362 million. How is this $362 million going to be spent? Are they going to spend $362 million on vaccine? Remember, we have a loan paid to China for vaccine. Keep that in mind. Don't forget that. Keep that in mind. Question about a $12 million allocation to buy vaccine. The minister stated that no one knows what the future holds. You see this kind of cat and bag talk? They all think talking cat and bag talk. But they cannot bring out the Davis Home report. You can't bring out that report. But you're talking about cat and bag. No one knows what the future holds. So you have $12 million there standby. Bring out the Davis Home report and let the public know who was involved. You feel like going to digest so? No, Terrence. You promised the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago that when you get the report, you're going to read it out. I want to wait in. Call a good night.
Good night, Saeed.
You're live. Go right ahead.
Saeed, let me ask you, those vaccines, to the government bringing that directly, or there has to be some company or whatever with a franchise in Trinidad that has to bring in the vaccine? And that's an important question to ask.
No, well, I believe the Ministry of Health itself buying the vaccine.
You really believe that? But I from what I was reading or what have you, there are companies that have franchise directly with Pfizer. And you have to go through Pfizer. They say you can't go through no government to government.
Remember when we was in the midst of the pandemic last year, 2021, remember the Supermarket Association wanted to bring in the vaccine and the government stopped them? Yeah. They say you have to go through us first. Thank you for raising the issue, my friend. The other thing said, the other thing said a non-disclosure agreement with Pfizer made it hard for him to give any details, and added that the ministry is looking at the Moderna vaccine, bivalent vaccine, which has not yet been approved at the Novavax Year 3 vaccine. Listen to this.
We have a non-disclosure agreement with Pfizer, so it is difficult for me to give that information. Pfizer is the only vaccine that is currently approved for the 5 to 11 age group.
No, I'm speaking about across the board children and adults, the 12.5 million.
And I said, we are looking at the Moderna bivalent vaccine. I remember, distinctly remember saying that.
The number of doses?
If you will let me finish, please. Thank you. So we are looking at the Moderna bivalent vaccine. It has not yet been approved. Once it is approved, we will then look at number of doses. Similarly, we are looking at the Novavax, what they are calling the Novavax Year 3 vaccine, because we are going to the Year 3 of this pandemic. We are just being very proactive in having the allocation. So in case the vaccines are approved and we can acquire them for Trinidad and Tobago, the funding is there.
Sicharan complained that in the short term, students will only have 40 doses of pediatric vaccine available. However, the other thing said that this was a type of narrative that is hampering the vaccine drive. Listen.
If you look at the number of vaccines being distributed now, and people talking about guinea pigs, people talking, one UNC senator talking about he doesn't want to be vaccinated because this is not a communist state. That is the type of narrative that is hampering the vaccination
what I'm
drive.
trying to say
So
is that the children in this age group are not protected.
And we are going to have 20,000 doses, 40,000 doses.
All right, members.
They are saying it's bad, you know. They are saying it's bad. He also noted that no salary were outstanding to any health staff as they were paid on time during the pandemic. The 362 million sum was not to pay arrears, he assured. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
Saeed, you're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
This government is a grabbing government, grabbing money from everybody in this country. They take away food card from people. You can't get medication in the health center. And now they want to grab money for your property. What is this government doing? It's time to kick them out.
Thank you, my dear. You see, I will tell you something. I will come here and demand certain things and get it done. But I want you to understand, as a people, as a nation, we need to come together in one accord. In one accord. Just one accord, not 2 and 3 and 4, you know. In one accord. You see, just so we come together in one accord on election day, we need to do the same thing. That's what we need to do. Call a good night.
A very good evening to you, Mr. Said.
To you, my friend.
So I tried to call you yesterday, and I just wanted to remind the Prime Minister who said that he's not giving anybody a free pass. Not me, not even you. That
Correct.
we all know where the guns are, who pushes the drugs and whatnot. But I want the Prime Minister to know that the protective services, the Coast Guard, the regiment, the police, and by extension the prison, they don't live on a separate island by themselves. They live in the country too. And they know exactly who, what, where, and how. And they're in a better position to whistle blow. Not me. All the best.
Thank you, my friend. You see, to hold a big fish in Trinidad, it had. To hold a small man on the street, it's very simple. To hold a big man in society, it's very hard in Trinidad. Because somebody connects to somebody somewhere. And Faris knew when the Venezuelans were coming in illegally. They had all the information. Faris said he knew down to the bus driver and the boat owner. Nothing came out of that. He's out of that ministry now, and that's it. That's it. So where do we go further from here? How do we fix this? Nobody knows. If TTPS can't find the drugs, man, you expect somebody from the outside to come and find it? No, they cannot find them. Because if our own can't fix the problem, how somebody else outside go fix it? Ask yourself that. And we only have 1.4 million people. A 2x2 country we're living in, where everybody knows everybody. That is why when Hines talked about the 1,200 illegal guns, and he said he got intelligence. Well, then the intelligence supposed to know where the 12,000 guns are. You're supposed to know where the 12,000 guns are. If your intelligence came to you and tell a boss, here we're going on now. You have 12,000 guns in the street, you must know where these guns are. But can you hold the people? No. Why? Because Tom connected Harry, Harry connected John, and John connected somebody big. And that is how the circle runs. Business owners have stated that while they welcome the government plans to make the 1.6 billion available for value-added tax, VAT returns, they believe there should be a deferral of property tax this year, as many entrepreneurs are struggling to pay their bills. Great San Fernando Chambers of Industry and Commerce President Kiran Singh said, the reimbursement of VAT refund was welcoming news. However, issues of inflation, the rising cost of living, and the deferral of property tax should have been addressed. The Wild Confederation of Regional Business Chamber Coordinator, Jai Leela Singh, agreed inflation statistics should have been provided. But do we have that? No, we don't have that. Because according to Colin Imbert, we always in a boom. We always in a boom. President of the Shawana Chamber, Richie Sukai, said businessmen have been suffering, not the government. Now, the government should not implement the property tax now to create more hardship for people. That's why I said, and that is why I hate calling him, but so hard. Multi-story dwelling apartment. You have to be a multi-millionaire to set up a multi-story dwelling apartment, 3, 4, 5 floors, and each furnished with 10, 15 apartments in each floor. Furnished we're talking about. Now these businessmen are exempted from paying property tax. Exempted, you know. Millionaires exempted. But listen this. The small man who paid a loan for 50 years, there was a penalty that brought down to them to pay it. And you see, the thing is, people didn't stand up. People did not stand up. They run and they pay it. Up to this date, Saieed ain't followed no form. Saieed ain't sending no form. And I keep telling them, carry me to court. Carry me to court. Colin Members have nice suit to go to court. I have nice suit to go to court. Because one thing I will ask the judge to ask their lawyers, why? Why is it that multi-story dwelling apartment businessmen got exempted while the poor man have to pay? But we in Trinidad, we run to go. That is why where we are today, very few would stand up. Very few. You know why? We like how it's going. We like how it's going. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night. All right, so all the dwellings and all the issues aside, right? What's stopping these politicians from various parties for continuing the racket, right? Is that if they could protect them when they are doing these atrocities to the children of the nation, right? All these orphans, right? We standing up for things all over in America.
Yes.
We're standing up for adults all in Trinidad, gang leaders, the blocking road, all kind of things.
Yes.
Right? And yet it is, we have children in our nation being buggered and raped throughout the years. All these witnesses, right? And Trinidad is standing up for nothing. These children who can't protect and defend themselves. And everybody in Trinidad studying how much money the government spends, how much the opposition are doing, and all this other thing. But nobody outside there, right, want to defend the helpless children of this nation.
Correct.
Right? Everybody studying all this other stupidness going on all over the world. But nobody wants to protect the children of Trinidad and Tobago.
Now, right? Remember when I light up the child protection unit?
Yeah.
Why are they not doing their jobs? They're getting the report, you know. But they need to press it further.
Yeah, you try, but why it is the nation can't do something? Everybody gets together and protest. Right? Why it is we have to allow, you talking about a little child. If you have a little child sitting down next to you, look at them and tell me if you could see a big man raping them.
Yep.
Right? Or they can't stand up for that. Trinidad can't stand up for that. Right? Or they just lying down and saying, yeah boy, Sam got report. Right? But all they can't stand up with the report and say enough is enough.
Exactly.
Right?
No, I will tell you something.
Little children to suffer.
I will tell you something, Kola. We have a lot of human rights lawyers in Trinidad, you know. Thank you so much. We have a lot of human rights lawyers in Trinidad, you know. We have lawyers who could just decide, you know what? We're picking up this case and we're fighting it, no charge. It have lawyers could do that. But I will tell you something. You see this? This is a serious thing. Everybody wants to make money. They do business about you, you know. They do business about you. They do business about you. Thank God. Thank God by the power that were invested in me. We push for the child sex offender registry to be up and running. When they can, as long as the magistrate catch them guilty, publish the petition. Because I want to know if my neighbors are rapists, you know. Why do you think I went that distance? It's for the safety of the community. It's for the safety of the neighbor. It's for the safety of the environment. It's for the protection of the child coming up. And it's to make sure that individual ain't commit that crime again because your picture went viral. Those in authority heard. They heard and they understand why I was pushing for it. We got it. We got it. Again, I just always want to thank Faris Al-Rawi for hearing to the plea, you know. He understands what side he was pushing for and he understands the purpose of it. All we need now is doctors to find evidence and judges to start sentencing. Start sentencing. Now I'm going to tell you something. As long as you find evidence of rape, forced entry, and a doctor will know it, a doctor will know. Why is it that case have to go on for 10 years? Why is it that case have to go on for 15 years? And not finish in a matter of a year or two because you have evidence? Why? Look at the Sabga thing. Since 1990, 1991, somewhere around there. Look at that. Call a good night.
Good evening, Mr. Sai.
To you, my friend.
Right, we know, right, that children who have been abused when they were, children who are abused, when they grow up to become adults,
yes,
they still have that trauma
that instill in them,
and they react in different ways.
Sometimes
people become abuser themselves. They may become pedophile, all sorts of repercussion we know of childhood abuse. I've been looking at this Parliament channel and the debate and thing that is taking place in the interest of the population, the people, and the way the House Speaker behaves. I am asking myself, if she had some sort of childhood abuse that hasn't been treated, and because I am looking and seeing simple, basic, straightforward answers, question being asked, where the population would want to know. It is relevant to the debate. And for no reason whatsoever, this woman will get up and be so aggressive and abusive and react and I am asking myself, if a woman who probably in a good financial standing, in a good environmental standing, in the sense that she's somebody who is recognized in the population and all kind of things, if this is the way somebody should be behaving for absolutely no reason, and if this has something to do with some kind of abuse that if she's going through it or she had went through it.
I understand.
And we need to ask ourselves these things because in a civilized society that we live in now, people didn't supposed to be behaving like that, especially when we are trying to teach the younger ones how to deal with difference of opinion and not be violent and reactive in such an angry and violent way. And when children see the adults and the people who are well respected in society behaving like that, one had to ask ourselves, are we teaching the children or the children supposed to be teaching us? And then it goes back again to the way how the white people used to treat the slaves and them. And now that they are off the shackles, if they are not treating people the same way that they have been treated. All these things, you had to ask what's making up our society. Why are we like this? If there's any betterment for this country in future, and I could tell you, it ain't looking too bright for us. Have a good night, Mr. Saida. Enjoy your rest.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, while we're talking about the children and the abuse and thing, Valencia High School, take a look at this. Take a look at this. Watch the schoolgirl there. She went to part a fight. She went to part a fight. Look at hand belting. She wants to part a fight. But if you look at the other student preventing her from parting a fight, look at it. I want you all to look at it good. I blurred on the video so that you wouldn't see the face because they're under 18. But I do hope that the Sandy Grande police, Valencia High School, that would be the Sandy Grande district. I do hope that the Sandy Grande police get involved. The original video is circulating on Facebook, social media platform. I want the Sandy Grande police and the children authority. You see, I go tell you something. The Prime Minister has used this term, we need evidence. We need evidence. The magistrate now does want evidence. So there is the original video circulating on social media platform. Right? We have the original video and I blurred down this video for you all to see. One student was trying to part the fight while another student pulled her away. Know what you're doing there, let them fight. Let me tell you something. I would like the Sandy Grande police officers, together with the Child Protection Unit, find these individuals and charge them. You see, I will tell you something. In order for school violence to stop, the police, together with the children authority, needs to set an example. And until that example ain't set, here what will happen in Trinidad and Tobago. In some school in Trinidad, somebody will interfere with the wrong man child. The wrong man child. And it will be a bacchanal. It will be a bacchanal. Look at the video that surfaced up yesterday where the father, where a man was tapping up a student. We didn't know what happened. We didn't know, or we don't know what caused that father to take action in a way he did with that schoolboy. We don't know. We don't know. I'm not going to pass judgment. I am not going to pass judgment. But how many of us would like our son or our daughter to end up in a situation like that? Hear this now. If the children authority, together with the police, ain't step up their game in Trinidad and Tobago and start putting penalties for when they have school fight, somebody would interfere with the wrong man or the wrong woman's son or daughter and they go have a serious backlash. Take what I telling all you, because I will tell all you this now on national television, and it's not a threat to anybody. But listen this, listen this. All you come wrong, my son them in school, and I, Saieed, will be the wrong man all your child interfere with. Take what I'm telling all you. Because you see that nonsense, throw back up the video. You see that nonsense that's taking place? If the children authority and the police ain't fix that problem, it go have a canal. Starting from the beginning where the girl trying to help her. Come back. Look, what you just said, viewers. Look at this, eh? Look at the girl. The girl trying to help the other one. And look what the one in blue did. Look at the one in the bag. Before you help the bloody children and them and separate them, all you want to cause fight? Huh? You know there is how a charge they call accessory to murder? Well, they should have a charge now, accessory to violence, and charge them with it. Come back. Charge them with it, because of lately since school opened, it's too much of school violence. The Ministry of Education ain't saying nothing. All of a sudden, them cannot talk. Their mouth zip, their tongue get heavy. Child protection, where they go? Like the whole unit going on holidays. The whole unit going on holiday. Magistrate want evidence. Download the video from the platform. Get the evidence. Get the police involved. Charge them. What the hell is the kickback? It's only when some student end up dead some way. And you realize, but wait now, look, John Doe, Ben, this had a fight in that school last week, and look, the John Doe was involved. It's only when that happened in Trinidad, then the blasted child protection unit, together with the police, will get up from the butt they're sitting down on. So who knows what happened? While the father met that young man, that student, and tap him up all over his head, God alone know what happened for a father to get in that rage to do that to a child. And that's not his child, you know. But something had to go on somewhere in that school for that father to reach down and meet that individual and dealt with him like that. We have too much of this. Too much of it, and we are hearing that from child protection. Like everybody resign and go on the damn way. You know why I'm getting on like this? You know why I'm getting on like this? When I saw that video that was sent to me, Valencia High, how that girl was trying to help another student from Gainlicks, and the one in the bag pulling she away. No, don't go to let her fight. She should have get some hand. To actually front teacher to break out. The one in the pink bag. Show back up the video, let the public see it. Watch at that. The girl run down. The girl run down to help. The pink bag. Watch me. That student in that pink bag should I get 2 hands in she tail. Let's to actually front it, knock out, and then go home and tell your parents what you was involved in. Look at that. The girl still trying to help. Look what the one in the blue jersey do. And all I want to tell me, all I can't do nothing. TTPS can't do nothing. Evidence all I getting and all I still can't do nothing. Call her good night.
Hi, pleasant good night, Saheed. I tried to call yesterday, but I didn't get through. I guess because of the influx in the call.
Okay.
All right, Saheed, let me tell you something, You see all that is taking place there? It comes back to poor parenting. And you see, I don't understand why the government cannot put initiatives in place to deal with delinquent parents. We have children making parents, and we have delinquent parents making babies that they cannot mind. So we have here in the society a new breed, right, of delinquency. And these children and them, they haven't gotten the love at home, the attention. I'm not even sure if some of them are being fed properly.
I got to stop you right there. I understand what you're saying. But listen this. It ain't have nothing to call love day. It ain't nothing to call love day. You know why I'm saying that? You could be a student being treated the best in your home. And when you go out, you want to bully somebody. Well, lovable children.
It has to deal with the home environment. A child that is brought up well sometimes doesn't even exhibit that kind of delinquent behavior. Right? And I'm telling you this because I used to be a high school teacher.
Okay.
Right? And I had to take one to court, right? Because they wanted me to cover it up. But my case, I was successful with regards to that. But coming back to what I'm speaking about, parents need to be charged. Mm-hmm. It is time you charge these parents for these children's behavior because they are failing in socializing these kids. They are not teaching them the proper values. And another thing, the Prime Minister said something yesterday, and I was very, very disappointed, saying that this is a violent and aggressive society. Do not label the entire society as that. There's only one particular ethnic group that behaves like that, right? And causing all of this havoc in the society. We're dealing from crime. Now we're seeing it in school, and a police officer was on TV6 saying that, and people were against it. But the black community need help. We have to face the facts. They need help. They are dealing with serious poverty, right? There's no social umbrella for them, right? When they fall economically, there's a black prime minister who doesn't do anything for his people, right? Just give handouts. It's not about handouts.
I understand what you're saying, darling. I understand what you're saying. But I wouldn't call the prime minister a black prime minister, because at the end of the day, as a black man in Trinidad, I understand what you're saying. I do apologize for cutting, but certain statements I would not allow it on the show to be continued as a racial statement then. I wouldn't tolerate that. But I understand what you're saying. I do apologize for cutting, but I have to set a standard. I am a black man. I am a black man. I was born in Trinidad. Our prime minister is a black man. He was born in Tobago. At the end of the day, he's a Tobagonian black man as a Trinidad black man. At the end of the day, we are one Trinidad and Tobago. So I would not have the racial talk going on real talk. I wouldn't tolerate that. Hey, I'm looking for this individual. Darian, Trinidad and Tobago, has any one of you all given this individual money and get it back? Contact me. 2386716 or 3391670. Darian, I give you time. I give you time. Now we're going to do things my way. My way. Any individual give this money, anybody give this individual money, or he take money and he can't get it back, contact me. So viewers, continue our program tonight. Given the unforeseen circumstances, property tax is expected to start before the 31st of December 2022, according to Finance Minister Colin Imbut. No. Question on whether the state can waive the 5,000 fee for non-submission of form. Imbut repeated that the answer can be found by interpretation of law. Listen to him.
There is relevant legislation, and all of the answers to the members' questions are contained within the law.
Is the government giving any consideration to persons who have not completed their property tax form to waive the $5,000 fine that the state is entitled to impose on those persons?
Madam Speaker, as I indicated, and the honourable member is an attorney, or so it is alleged, all of the answers to that question will be found within the relevant legislation. Whether the state can waive the fine or not, all of the answers will be found by an interpretation of the statute by the honourable member.
All I hear that? Let us not forget, in 2016, Imbut placed an exemption of property tax for multi-family dwelling units until 2025. Listen to this.
Madam Speaker, we've also introduced a new measure which was not included in the previous measure, which is the exemption from tax premiums and rents derived from the letting of a newly constructed multi-family dwelling unit. So we had commercial buildings before, car parks, and residential house sites. We're now including multi-family dwelling units. And there will also be an exemption from income tax, just like the current measures, gains or profits from the sale of such newly constructed multi-family dwellings. Again, the construction of the multi-family dwelling unit must have commenced on or after the coming into force of the Finance No. 2 Act 2016, but I will entertain suggestions on that. Similarly, as the measures for residential house sites and commercial buildings, it is proposed that this new incentive for multi-family dwelling buildings remain in effect until December 31st, 2025.
All I want to hear something else? All I want to see how Ember benefited from this? On the next one.
So it's a long time from now, member for Caroni East. This is why I said I have benefited in the past and I might benefit in the future.
Alora! Alora! So how Trinidad and Tobago, how in God created universe, I, Saeed, would run to drop in my submission to pay property tax when multi-story family dwelling buildings in Bird give exemption to men who own them properties. Carry me to court. Carry me to court. Businessmen, multimillionaires got exempted, while the poor man who paying a loan for 50 years, they have a penalty on their head if they don't submit it. And then all I can say, Saeed only bashing, I'm standing up for you yourself. That is what I'm standing up for. And if you want to play clumsy and run and submit your form, that is up to you. Not Saeed. Not Saeed. I will go to court. I will go to court. So Ember is only the rich people benefiting? And what happened to the poor man? Well, Your Honor, what? What? I tell you, I didn't come out here to make friends, and I come out here to stand up to help the poor, you know. I come out here to stand up to help the people that need help, you know. The people who don't have a voice. My voice is for them. Ember stated, new story, Ember stated that 1.76 billion of the 3 billion budget variance being sought by the government will be used to pay out VAT payment owed to businessmen. And if you decide it's me talking nonsense, listen to this video.
In most sectors of the economy, we have decided to increase VAT refunds for the period, we have already started, for the period April to September 2022 in the amount of $1.6 billion, Madam Speaker. And we think this will go a long way to assisting businesses with cash flow, putting businesses in funds to allow them to continue their operations, to allow them to expand their businesses, to maintain employment, to create jobs, and to stimulate economic activity.
Let me tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. Call me, but they ain't doing us no favor by giving back our refund, you know. He ain't doing us no favor, you know. They try to prevent paying what belongs to us. So here's the reason why now they want to find a way now to raise $3 billion. So 1.76 billion could come back to us. So where is all this VAT money that we contributed? Where the hell it went? Where it went? Now you want to implement something else now, a new tax to raise $3 billion to give it back what we're supposed to get. What kind of hell maths is that? Huh? What the hell going on in Trinidad? What going on? Where's our VAT money going? You want to bring out a new tax now to take that tax money to pay we now? The minister also noted that the $500 million in surplus sales from petroleum fuel in 2022 will be used to subsidize the price of liquid petroleum, that is LPG or cooking gas. Ember stated that money will go towards settling the arrears owed to National Petroleum Marketing Company Limited. He further noted that in regards to bills, $600 million was allocated to deal with the arrears in terms of the security service, janitorial service, electricity, and the water bill for several ministries. Listen to this.
At certain times of previous years, that entire surplus, which is in excess of $500 million, is going to be used to subsidize the price of LPG, cooking gas, so that, again, in terms of where the revenue is going and where the money is being spent, the surplus generated from the sale of petroleum fuels will be utilized in part to deal with the continued subsidy of liquefied petroleum gas or cooking gas, which is a significant amount, hundreds of millions of dollars every single year. So we intend to utilize that entire $500 million. It is in fact $570 million that will be applied to subsidize the cost of cooking gas, dealing with arrears that are owed to the National Petroleum Marketing Company, and also dealing with the subsidy of cooking gas going forward for the balance of the fiscal year. In terms of dealing with bills, in the supplementation, if one goes through the supplementation very, very carefully and looks at what the money is being used for, one will see there are significant sums allocated to deal with arrears in terms of security services, janitorial services, arrears for telephone bills, electricity bills, water, and so on. The amount with respect to those arrears is of the order of $600 million. So contained within this $3 billion supplementation is an amount of $600 million to deal with arrears for rent, water, electricity, telephone, janitorial services, and security services. At certain times of previous years, that entire...
Well, I hear what this man saying, eh? Good. Call a good night.
Listen, good night, my Lord. Pray me, how are you doing?
Good, good, good. Hello? Talk to me.
Oh, I can only listen. I can only hear. You're right, brother. One example is once again, they don't get sweat and blood from me. They won't be live now. What they're doing, they're too old for this. We reach too far now. We should throw this behind back and do better than this. We won't test we enough, and we have enough faith, knowledge, wisdom, and courage to go on again and carry on the show. This is nothing to do again. Look at we, the cut we days to treat how we suffering nowadays. When we take up CPAP work, government work, TNTech work, water work, and then the people work too for 3 days. It's not easy out there, pal. It's not easy there in this kind of time, you know why? We reach too far, the population too big now. It's too much a thing now going on. This is why crime going on. The fellas them see what's going on. These big men, them shouldn't be like that again. Them should come out of that. Oh, God take care, brother. God bless you, my Lord.
Thank you, my friend. Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali accused the opposition of doubling down with question on the recent spotlighted Special Branch 2019 report. UNC MP Rudy Singh asked if Rowley had instructed the Agriculture Minister and Commissioner of State Land to conduct any investigation into the report about the government minister who is allegedly occupying 3 parcels of state land belonging to the Housing Development Corporation. Dr. Rowley responded that his colleague was engaged in a double down after a person whom they made the accusation provide a strong denial and document to prove that the opposition was wrong. Listen to this video.
My colleagues engaging in what is called doubling down to come here and ask me about allegedly, after the person against whom you made the accusation have provided a strong denial and document to prove that you are wrong. Again, it's pure mischief. And secondly, Madam Speaker, that document quoted there, 105/4/2T, is a police document. And if a law has been broken and any citizen is to be held liable for breach of that law, it means that it is already in the hands of the police. And finally, Madam Speaker, since when are my colleagues happy to have me give instructions to the police? You spend the time running up and down the country saying the Prime Minister must not give instructions to the police. How come you're interested in me giving instructions to the police now? And Madam Speaker, as Prime Minister, I do not give instructions to the police to persecute or prosecute any citizen. If you think that prosecution is warranted here, it is in the police hand. Let's see what the police will do.
I just want to remind you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, that was the man who you just saw on television, who admit to being the high-ranking government official that went to the president's house when they had this election for top cop as commissioner. Remember when he came out and admits? So all of you who get bumpy, take all your time. Take all your time. I just decided to drop that ball on all you after you hear that. Question on whether the special branch report was authentic. The PM added that he is in no position to counteract what the cop might have said about a police document. Listen to this.
I'm in no position, and I will not engage in this kind of behavior with the opposition. I am not telling you what is or what is not a special branch document. You have a document which you have put to the public, making allegations against people. You're on your own with that. And Madam Speaker, as far as I'm aware, I think the Commissioner of Police spoke to this already in the public domain. And I am in no position to counteract or to countermand what the Commissioner of Police might have said about a police document.
Now, viewers, the PM stated that the land UNC was trying to make a story out of had HDC properties in which the Commissioner of State Land has no involvement in. Listen to this.
The pieces of land that my colleagues are seeking to make a story of are in fact HDC properties. And therefore the Commissioner of State Land has no involvement there, contrary to the mischief being put here by the member. HDC plots sold to public are not under the control of the Commissioner of State Land. The Commissioner of State Land is in control of lands which belong to the state. And once HDC sell a house to somebody and that person owns that house, it no longer belongs to the state. What is wrong with you all? What have you all been eating and drinking that had you so antsy?
Special branch report is the finding of their investigation. Just like any other department, security department, they would give you a summary of the findings after investigation. Remember, I have the document. I had the document. But nevertheless, we are out of time for tonight. But the Prime Minister, before I close up, the Prime Minister instructed the Acting Commissioner of Police, McDonald Jacob, to physically locate the report made by team leader Dr. Robert Sabga into sexual, physical and emotional abuse of youngsters in children's home conducted over 25 years ago. So the Prime Minister have ordered that. We'll just wait and see. I'm not going to say much. I have a lot of information on it, but I'm just going to wait. Seeing that I was the one who pushed for the child sex offender registry to go forward, I have a lot of information. But let me hear what the Jacob is going to do. We are out of time for tonight. There's a rerun of this program tomorrow, viewers. And remember, if you're looking for cash, contact 339-86716. Just like that. Meet for Public Concerns Night, Wednesday night. Take care and be safe.